Hi, my name's Alice. I am the modern doula, and I heard that the kids these days were putting together like a PowerPoint for their Christmas wish list. So I thought I would do the same thing and share some of the things that are on my Christmas wish list in the hope that Santa is watching. So I actually have broken it down into categories, as you can see, to make it really easy for you, Santa. I have personal yet practical. So these are the things that I just want because I want them. Then I have wholesome gifts. So this is for like midwives and mums and also me too, maybe. Then I have a bit of a system wish list. So Santa / the government, if you're listening, these are the things that I would really love this Christmas. And then of course I have unlikely but hopeful. So it's gonna be a real Christmas miracle to get some of those things. The thing that I would really love is like a Mary Poppins style bag that when I need something, I can just put my hand in and pull it out. Sometimes there's a birth where I really want that one thing and I have to go through my entire suitcase to try and find it. The next thing that I would really like is a wireless TENS machine that is boostable, but also is just Wi-Fi chargy so that I don't have to be playing around with batteries and cords and all that kind of stuff. The next thing that I would really love is waterproof spazials. They don't exist, but I would really love them because I do love my Crocs for birth, but I actually really love my spazials, but I don't want to wear them in the shower because they're suede. Next up, we have wholesome gifts. So the first one is a magic vibe spray. So this would be a spray that you spray between shift changeover for nurses or OBs, and it just guarantees that the vibe is going to be good when the new person comes in. The next would be postpartum friendly hospital food. So this would be separate menus just for mums and their partners, so that after they have pushed a baby out their vagina or had major surgery, that they don't have to have a cheese sandwich. The next I have silent keyboards. This would be really awesome so that midwives can write their notes quietly and not disturb the mum, because they have lots of notes to write, but sometimes those keyboards can get a little bit clicky clacky, if you know what I mean. So I think that they would also like that as well, so that they don't have to like type without moving their fingers, you know. Then we have a food voucher instead of a baby bag. The New South Wales government gives a baby bag that no one uses because it's ugly. So what would be way better is if we could just have a food voucher and then we could buy things that we actually wanted to eat with that. The next doesn't exist, but it's like a birth suite ready app. So it's like reverse Uber. So when you're going into the hospital system, you like for your labor, you just click the button and it tells the midwives that you're on your way and they can set the birth pool up and get everything ready for you. And that would just be amazing. Okay, next is the system wish list. Okay, this is like if you're listening, government, Santa, this would be really awesome. The first here is to change the wording of emergency C-section. So if it's actually not an emergency, but it's happening while, labor was in progress, we would just change the name to unplanned. The second is for every birth suite to have a proper pool and to also have good shower pressure. I know that this is like a risk thing in the hospital system, but birth suites obviously is a little bit different to the geriatric ward. So if we could actually have proper shower pressure and a birth pool in every room, that would be so good. The next one is that every OB is breech friendly and trained, so that this is just like a normal part of learning to be an obstetrician, is that you get properly qualified in doing breech births, just to give women a little bit more choice. And then the last one is that women are able to choose the type of care that they want. So regardless of where you live or how much money you have, that you could choose the type of care, whether you wanted a known midwife or an obstetrician or whatever that looks like. This is my unlikely but hopeful. Is there ever a better time to have a Christmas miracle than at Christmas? So the first would be that I get 24 hours notice before a client starts to feel their first twinge of labor. Yeah, as I said, unlikely but hopeful. The next would be that every woman gets a doula scheme. So this would be like a publicly funded system where you would get a rebate, but then also the doulas don't have the red tape of the rebate. So yeah, it's like cake, eat it too kind of thing, but that would be awesome. The next is that we put Friedman's curve and BMI in the bin. That just kind of goes without saying. The next is that OBs have a lie detector before they go into prenatal appointments from 37 weeks onwards. Now, this is not in any way to assume that OBs lie, but it's more just like a deterrent, and it ensures that they would be always telling the truth. Also unlikely but hopeful is that the cesarean section rate drops from 41% to 20%, which is still more than the World Health Organization would recommend, but we've got to keep room in there for a bit of leeway. But of course, I know that I can't have everything because it's quite a long list. So if you can't get me everything, that's okay. My top personal wish would be that we eradicate birth trauma and obstetric violence from our hospital system. And yeah, thanks for watching, Santa. And I hope that really helps narrow it down, and have a Merry Christmas.